Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the first official episode of the Authentically Feminine Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hi. If you're listening on the audio, welcome. This is a podcast where we talk all about connecting with your feminine energy, being your best self, showing up in relationships, on dates, connecting with your authenticity, right? And for the very first episode, I decided to talk about feminine energy, right? Why is feminine energy important? Why do you need feminine energy in your life? Why do you need to connect with that part of yourself? And do you really even need to be in your feminine energy all the time? So we're going to get into some really, really juicy tips. Before we start, I just want to let you know there is a brand new webinar called Feminine Communication Secrets, which is going to be linked below. It's a free training. It's going to be so much fun. I talk about how to truly talk to men in order to connect with their hearts. You're going to learn the formula for overcoming a man's commitment resistance, which is, I think, super, super important. Nobody talks about this. There's lots of examples as well that I'm going to give you, and it's going to change your dating experience with men completely. So it's called Feminine Communication Secrets, completely free webinar. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to link it in the show notes. So what does feminine energy even mean? It's become thrown around the internet, all over social media, and a lot of people get it wrong, right? So I want to start by talking about what it actually means to be in your feminine energy. Everybody has both feminine and masculine energies. These energies are a part of who you are. They are accessible to you, they're available to you anytime that you want. All right. It's just some people, especially some women, have a more difficult time connecting with that part of themselves. I mean, some men do too, but we're talking about women, right? A lot of women have a difficult time connecting with that part of themselves because of circumstances when they're growing up or certain childhood traumas and a whole bunch of different experiences, right? So some women don't fully express their feminine energy in the right circumstances when it's really needed. So sometimes you really need to connect with that part of yourself in order to make decisions, in order to connect with people, in order to connect with men in relationships. You're going to need to draw on that feminine energy in order to really truly be the best of who you are and get the results that you want in certain areas of your life, okay? So women tend to naturally have more feminine energy. So we are naturally more connected with our feminine energy. Men have feminine energy, women have feminine energy, but to us, it comes a lot more naturally. We are very relationship oriented. So women tend to see relationships everywhere they go, right? Like everything is about relationships. Whereas for men, they tend to see challenges to overcome, problems to be solved, right? Like that is kind of more what a man's focus is, because they tend to have more masculine energy than healthy men, at least, right? So women tend to have more feminine energy, right? But it can be suppressed. And a lot of us have become so disconnected from it with time that it can be difficult to access that part of us, right? But it does tend to come more naturally for women, this connection to the feminine self. The reason that women tend to have more feminine energy, most women have a feminine energy essence, is because feminine energy is really all about life force. It's about creation. We have the ability to give birth to children. We are creators of life. Feminine energy is all about life. It is life force. It is about joy. It is abundance. It is being in a state of love. And if I were to summarize like what feminine energy means in one word, it's love. I would say that being in a state of love is what feminine energy is really about. When you are in a state of love, when you're not holding resentments, when you're not fearful, when you're not angry, when you have everything that's opposite to that, right? You have joy, compassion, love, abundance, like all of those things. That is when you know you are connected with your feminine energy. And anytime you act or make a decision from that part of you, from the joyful, the compassionate, the kind, the understanding, that part of yourself, anytime you make a decision from that part of yourself, you are making a decision from that feminine energy state. So women tend to have naturally more feminine energy. As I said, part of this is evolutionarily, right? So women, men have been the ones to go out, hunt, bring home the bacon and overcome the challenges, like all of those things. That was a man's job, right? Whereas a woman's job was to create connections. It was the social aspect. It was obviously to have babies, to take care of the babies, to go out and collect berries, to create relationships with others, right? To be social. And so this is why we have evolved to be more focused on relationships, and men have evolved to be more focused on challenges and problems and all of that, right? So this is kind of why things are the way they are now, right? So feminine energy is all about nurturing. It's about connections. It's about being vulnerable. When you're connected with your vulnerable self, when you're not trying to run away from yourself, when you're not denying how you truly feel, when you're not denying the fact that you're not perfect, that is when you are in your feminine energy. You're connected with the feeling, the emotional part of yourself. And it's really hard for a lot of us because we have been through challenges. Like I said, right? We've been through difficult times where maybe we had to be the ones to take care of everybody when we were growing up. And so now we just have this, like, we're super independent. We don't let anybody take care of us, right? And this could be why we struggle in relationships. So everyone has their own experiences, but because of the way that women are raised in society, I think it's become very difficult for a lot of women to step back into that feminine energy, which can be so, not can be, it is so important. It's so important to reconnect with that inner child, with that part of you that is vulnerable and is emotional and wants deep connection and deep fulfillment and love. And if you want the love and the fulfillment and the deep connection, you have to be able to connect with yourself and with others. You have to be able to tap into that feminine essence that is already there. So another thing about feminine energy is that it is about allowing things to flow. It's about not controlling everything around us. And I know this is very difficult for a lot of women. Like, I struggle with this so much. I always want to control things, right? And now that I have kids and, I'm a mother and I'm naturally worried about their safety and their security, I'm even more controlling at times, right? I find it really difficult to kind of let things go and to allow whatever happens to just happen, allow things to just flow. But that is how you know that your feminine energy is blocked, when you are constantly trying to control things. Feminine energy is about flow. It's about attracting things and pulling them in towards you effortlessly. It's not about trying to control a man or trying to control when he texts you back or trying to control what someone is doing or trying to control the circumstances around you. Because when you have this intense grip and hold on people or on life, it's very difficult for things to work out the way that you want them to, because life flows and happens and is attracted to you when you lean back, and you let go of this need to just like have this super grip on things, right? So it's really important to allow things to just flow, right? Sometimes learn to let go of control, hand it over to someone else. It's a very healthy thing to do. Masculine energy is all about taking action, getting things done, and controlling everything, right? And so that part of you is important. Again, we're talking about feminine energy in this episode. We'll talk about this in another one, but it's important for you to connect with that masculine energy as well. But because women tend to have more difficulty disconnecting from the masculine energy, all right, I'm just really emphasizing how important it is to learn to be in a state of flow, to allow things to just happen. All right, that is really, really an important lesson for a lot of us. Okay, and allow the men, the healthy masculine men, to take the action, to control things, especially in the relationship. And he's going to want to give more to you. He's going to want to chase you. He's going to want you to attract him. All right. And this is what I teach you in a lot of my courses. I mean, in all my courses and programs, it's how to attract a man. You don't want to be pushing, because when you are desperately trying to get a man's attention, you're trying to control. When you are trying to figure out if he really likes you or how much he likes you, and you start asking him certain questions, you're trying to control, right? All of these things end up pushing men away. They push the men away. They push away the relationships that you want. So you have to practice attracting. Why do you need to connect with your feminine energy? Okay, I want to dive a little bit deeper into this. Okay, so your feminine energy is essential to your well-being. It's not just about connecting with men, right? It's essential to your well-being because it is partly about connecting with your emotions and having emotional regulation, right? If you're disconnected from your emotions, not only can you not share them with others, but you also have a difficult time just being yourself. And you're always going to be shut off and closed down, and you're going to struggle because you're going to be getting down on yourself because you're not perfect, right? And we cannot expect ourselves to be perfect. And when we connect with our feminine energy, we connect with those deeper parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that sometimes are hurting, right? With that inner child. It's when you say to yourself, you know what? I feel tired today and I'm going to rest, and that's okay. I feel sad today. Oh, I'm having a mood swing. Oh, my period is coming and, I'm not feeling good. That's okay. I don't need to hustle and grind today. I'm going to take a few days off, and that's okay, right? It is when you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and you don't criticize yourself, you don't judge yourself. That is where connection with your feminine energy starts. It's connecting with your emotions. All right. And that is how you learn to regulate your emotions, and you become okay with being vulnerable, and you end up accepting yourself more, right? Self-acceptance comes from acknowledgement first. Because if you're just denying how you feel, denying everything, then you're guarded. Your feminine energy is going to be blocked. You can't relax. You can't be playful. You can't be joyful. You can't expand your energy, right? It's very difficult to do that when you're not even aware of what you're feeling. Certain practices that, I'll give to my coaching clients sometimes is like, go to a room, go to the shower. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do when you're not feeling good, go to the shower, put on the hot water, and just cry, like have a really good, strong cry and just let it all out. And this is so cathartic and so healing. And just something about it, like the hot water just hitting you, like, and you just like, and crying, like it just intensifies the experience of like, it's this purging that you're going through. I love that. I love doing this. When you really need it, this exercises can be super, super helpful. Again, because the more deeply you feel your emotions, the more connected you are to yourself. And the more comfortable and relaxed you're going to be with yourself, and the more easily you're going to be able to connect with men as well. And not just with men, with women, with everybody. Now, the next thing I want to mention is that men, right, healthy masculine men are deeply drawn to women who are connected with their feminine energy, right? Because when you're in your feminine energy, you're comfortable with yourself, you allow yourself to feel everything, right? You emanate this vibrant, lively energy. We are literally vibrational beings. And so men can sense this. Men can sense when you're a woman who is guarded, who is so scared of rejection, who is super anxious all the time, who is worried about what he's going to say, right? Or who's putting a man on a pedestal. A man can always sense this. And a man can also sense when you're relaxed and playing and joyful and just in your full expression of yourself, right? That is the energy that you want to show up in when you're on dates, when you're with men, because it's going to feel good for you and it's going to feel good for a man to be around you, right? So reasons that men want to be with feminine energy women. Feminine energy women, they're not controlling things. They're allowing things to go with the flow. They're just allowing things to flow. And it's easier to be with this type of person, right? It's easier to be with someone who's not controlling everything all the time. Women, when a woman is connected with her emotions, she provides a man with a sense of liveliness, with a sense of life. Because your ability to tell stories, to be fully expressive in who you are, a man feels this and he wants to live, he wants to feel his emotions through you. You're like a mirror to him, okay? And this is extremely attractive. This is what men are looking for. I go deeper in the feminine masculine attraction course where I talk all about ways that women are disconnected from their feminine energy, how they show up in their masculine, how to reconnect with your feminine energy, how to truly be that magnetically radiant, attractive woman to a man. If you're interested, check out the feminine masculine attraction course. Okay, so when a woman's in her feminine energy, she's not chasing a man. She's not chasing a man. She is just letting him come to her. She is not texting him 15 times a day. She's not following up every single text because she wants to make sure and she wants to check if the feeling is mutual, right? Like, what is he going to text me back? Or when is he going to text me back? She is not focused on that. She is living her life, right? So a man is attracted because she's not chasing, she is attracting, right? That is what makes a man super drawn to her. Men are also attracted to feminine energy women because they allow a deep connection to be formed. A man cannot form a deep connection with you or a bond with you unless you allow yourself to be vulnerable. And when you're connected with your feminine energy and you're connected with your emotions, you're okay with having them, right? Like, like, oh, I'm feeling irritated today. I'm feeling sad today. I'm feeling whatever today, but that's okay, right? Like, you're cool with that because you know that you're just a human being. And when you're able to connect and you know how to express that to a man, it's a game changer. That's when a man, it like opens up this world. It opens up your heart, actually. And that's when a man can come in and he can connect with you on that deep level that he needs to in order to fall in love with you, right? He needs to see that vulnerability. Again, something I cover in the Feminine Masculine Attraction course if you want to learn more. Okay. If you want to connect with the feminine, with your feminine energy, with your emotions, you have to learn to regulate your emotions. You have to learn to regulate your nervous system. And a lot of us, we're in survival mode all the time. So our nervous system is it's going haywire, right? It cannot relax. And if you can't relax, you can't be in the present, right? And in order to be in your feminine energy, connect with the man, be playful, be flirtatious, get out of your head and into your body, you need to learn to regulate your nervous system, right? And if you have a lot of anxiety, if you're prone to overthinking, which is something I dealt with for so long, right? I still struggle with sometimes, but I learned how to tone it down because I learned how to regulate myself and my nervous system. If you're in survival mode, your brain is just focused on me, 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 and parts of your brain are literally shut down, which is why you cannot connect with a man and relate to him on this authentic and fun level, right? And he cannot feel that feminine energy from you. He can't feel you being your best self because you have this anxiety, you have this fear. Okay, so you have to learn to regulate your nervous system, pull yourself out of survival mode. All right. And if you work with me one-on-one with coaching, with my coaching clients, this is something that I help a lot of my clients do. Get out of that survival mode, get back into their bodies, learn how to just feel better and feel more relaxed, and so that you can enjoy your life, right? Not just about connecting with men, it's about enjoying your life and learning to be in the moment and be present without having to worry about anxiety and rejection and all those like negative emotions without living in those emotions. Okay, so emotional regulation, having a calm nervous system is super, super important because it's going to allow you to be your authentic self. It's going to allow you to step out of that part of you that is like, it's not really you. That anxious part of you, the negative thoughts, the negative beliefs that are holding you back from connecting with others and from connecting with men, that's not really you. Those are just limiting beliefs that are in your mind. They're floating around there and they're stopping you. They're preventing you from opening your heart, from being your true self, and therefore from connecting with the right man, with a healthy masculine man who's going to want to love you, support you, and take care of you and just be with you 100%. All right. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Remember that feminine energy, your feminine energy is your superpower as a woman. It makes everything in your life brighter. It is you connecting with your deeper self. You become a magnet for men, and not just for men, but for women, for everybody, right? Because you're real, you're authentic. And this is my goal. This is something that I have decided to teach you, is how to reconnect with your authentic self, how to be at your best. Be your best kind of woman, okay? While still remaining your authentic self. This is what I'm going to be teaching you. Stay tuned for the next episode. I am so excited. This has been so fun. I hope you enjoyed listening. And don't forget to check out the brand new free webinar, Feminine Communication Secrets. I'm going to link it below. Make sure you sign up and watch it. You're going to love it. There's some really great examples there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you next time. I love you. Bye.